Alright, welcome back guys to another video. Today is October 1st and I just wanted to make a little video kind of going over my progress within the stock market and dividends, everything like that. So here in California, it is a particularly ugly air quality day. For those of you in the area, you know what I'm talking about, but overall just kind of inside trying to stay out of this toxic air and decided to make this little video. So as you can see here, throughout this first several months of tracking the dividends, I have seen a lot of increase. I mean, obviously I've been purchasing more and more of the stock that I've been investing in, but as you can see, I've just recently had an incredible month so far. As you can see, my dividends for the month of September is now at $132.06. Today's October 1st, so I finished up the last amount of dividends that came in throughout the end of the month, and so I just thought I'd go over each of them and show you guys how I'm exactly doing that and what my plan is from here on out. So just going into the M1 Finance portfolio here is kind of where I have most of my allocated funds and dividend funds. So just going into the activity to see what dividends have been paid throughout the month, and then we're going to go look at the other accounts as well to show you where the other ones are coming from as well. So starting at the bottom, we'll go all the way back to September 1st, and then go from there. So as you can see here, we started off the month of September with a nice dividend from DHT Holdings. And now DHT is a company that I started investing in, a few months ago. And primarily I looked at it for the dividend yield. Of course, it has a very low price, and I wanted to, do a little bit more speculative trading and try to bring up my dividend yield a lot, which of course this has done so. It's been paying me out dividends for quite some time now, quarterly of course. And as you can see here, the growth is kind of shaky, but it's oil. I mean, it's an oil, it's a group of tankers. That's what the company is. And I figured it was a good enough trade to make, and kind of speculative. It's a little bit risky, but this is one of the companies that I decided to kind of include in my portfolio. As you can see, I mean, it's not a huge portion of my portfolio. I still have, a decent amount of other stocks in there, but it does make up about 3-4% of my overall portfolio here. See how many shares I have right now. So I'm almost at 100 shares. My average price is $6.24, so it's a little bit down right now, but the growth on this has been, pretty steady. Obviously, it took that crash, around there's one around July, and then just kind of increasing slowly, but it's been paying me out a lot of dividends, so I'm going to keep it until I hear some other speculative news surrounding the stock or dividend of DHT. But moving forward, we do have some other dividends that I wanted to show you guys. The second one was not so big. It was, I don't even know what this stock is. It might just be included in one of my hedge funds that I'm investing in, but it's from Delix, so it's 11 cents. I'm not really going to go into too much about that because it's just such a small dividend. Let's see here. So if we keep going throughout the month of September, the next one we have is Johnson & Johnson. Obviously, a solid stock. One of the dividend aristocrats, or it might be a king. I'm not really sure if you want to correct me on that, but lots of people talk about Johnson & Johnson. Obviously, I mean, the president just mentioned it in the previous debate. I don't know if you guys were watching that. I apologize if you were, but Johnson & Johnson obviously is one of the more upcoming health sector stocks, and of course has been around for a while and will continue to be so. Continuing the following with all of the the health concerns in the market right now. But I do have a small other position in Microsoft. 13 cents is what I got from the dividend. And if you keep going here, we have a finance sector dividend that got paid from American Finance Trust, $3.77. So it's a solid dividend, low price too, which is, it's pretty good. That's what I was looking for in some of these stocks. It's just, high paying dividend yields and lower share prices. So that's good as well. We have NWL from Newell Brands. And then September 15th, we also got the Pembina Pipeline Core. So this is another stock that I've been trying to purchase more regularly. You hear a lot about Benji talking about it as well. and that's how you know it's a good stock when he talks about it. But pretty much it's at 21.40 right now. They have a solid dividend yield, and if you look through some of the research on PBA, you can see that their yield is fairly safe. It's actually safer than AT&T, which is pretty surprising. If you look through throughout the history, they've been paying their dividends for quite a while now. A solid record over the year, and then of course a drop and slowly building up right now. This is a pipeline sector, so it's one of those companies that it's safe to say will be around for quite some time now. So if you keep going, let's see, where were we? It's halfway through September. That's when I started getting the first bit of monthly payments, or actually, Pembine as a monthly payer as well. But you have Realty Income, which is, of course, one of the ones that everybody talks about. Oh, Realty. Not much to say about that, but just trying to build up my dividend with them as well. And then you also have SLG. Now, not a lot of people talk about SLG, but this stock, in my opinion, is one of the best staples that I've had in my portfolio. So it's $47 a share at the moment, 6% yield, 6.29%, and it is a monthly payer as well. And they just also announced their dividend, which did have, I believe it was on track with the previous, but basically safe to say this stock in the realty section, I think that it's a pretty safe bet and a good staple to have in your dividend portfolio because it has been paying me out solid dividends, and I believe at this time for the next payment I should be getting it up to around $10. This previous payment was just shy of $10, so I'm trying to get it up and build up the position. But continuing on, we do have another gas sector stock here, so RDSA, which is the Shell stock, and it has an 8.51%. So you'll see a common theme with my account is that I'm trying to add more speculative high dividend yield stocks, and those are just some more examples of this. So if you look back into one of my previous videos, you'll see that I had this company right here, REML, which is a monthly paying mortgage REIT, and it was paying a solid dividend, but then they absolutely cut it, and I realized that at that point, I was waiting for this dividend to pay out. All I got was $2.16, with the previous being like $18 or something, and that would have been a nice monthly paying income to have supplementing the account. But once they cut it, I realized it was time to cut my ties, so I did sell it, which was worth around $400. And then I just went ahead and bought into these other stocks. I bought some more Tesla, bought some more Pfizer, and then some other these two speculative stocks that I wanted to get for the yield specifically. But not really trying to go too heavy into these two. Obviously, Pfizer is something that I do want to go heavily into. Kind of the same reason as Johnson & Johnson, but we'll see how it goes. I'm looking for more of a price dip, and then we'll see if I can buy some more into that. But just to close off the month, you'll see here, EFC, you have 323, a solid dividend. You have ORC, which these are all, by the way, or these two at least, and then the previous were monthly payers. So it's always good to see these, coming into the portfolio, which is pretty much you can time it like clockwork. They're always going to be there on pretty much the same date, give or take. But this next one that we had was IEP Icon, so that's a hedge fund that I was invested in, and this dividend paying stock is pretty nice. It pays quarterly, but it does have a solid yield. So as you can see here, there's $18 up here, and then another one for 33 cents. And this stock is overall pretty solid. It's part of the IEP hedge fund group. So in M1 Finance, there's specific funds that are groups of stocks, and it's pretty much like an ETF, but it's a specific hedge fund that you can invest into. And I like it. I've been liking it overall. I'm going to try to build my position in this just because of that nice dividend yield, and it's been doing pretty well for me overall. Right below it, you have another monthly pair. Sabine Royalty just actually increased their dividend, so I decided it was time to up the position. I'm still pretty down in my personal position, but I'm going to try to build it up and try to get my average cost down, which is obviously the goal. So UTF over here, $2.33. Not much to say about that one. It's just another monthly payer. And then these all the way up here are also monthly payers. So as you can see, I really like monthly payers. It's just what I like to invest into. But I'm also, trying to build my positions in other stocks, as you can see when I show you my overall portfolio. But, you have SPHD, got it up to $5, which is good. And then another one, which is NHF, Next Point Strategies Opportunities Fund, which is pretty much like similar to one of those more speculative trades. It's something that I looked for in the yield. And obviously it's not good to do this with a lot of stocks, but I wanted to, see if I can test the waters and kind of chase after that yield with a little bit, and then use that yield to bring in other stocks and build those positions as well. So looking at the whole overall portfolio, it's sitting at just above 15,000, and right now, actually on the day, is currently up. We've had a little bit of volatility, but throughout the week, throughout the month, actually, it's been going down and then somewhat of a catalyst going up. So obviously I'm still down overall. This is a pretty serious situation, down 17%, but again, I am in it for the long term, so it doesn't really concern me that much. But I'm just trying to dollar cost average when I can, and use the dips to try to build the positions as well. So that being said, I do have another account that's with Stash that's a little bit over $12,000 right now. And like I said, not all the dividends that I receive that I'll show you in my tracker are going to be from M1. There's actually, there's a little bit from, my personal portfolio, my retirement portfolio. So in my personal portfolio, that's where you see I have my Apple position, which is the largest one. And if we just go into activity of the portfolio just to see all the dividends, but there's not too many from here, mostly just the big ones that I've been talking about. You have this Doctor and Doctor, which is pretty much a mutual fund ETF that covers a bunch of different stocks in the healthcare sector. And all of these, by the way, are going to be reinvested automatically through Stash's program that they use. You have American Innovators, which is basically like a similar version of the Vanguard ETF. This one tracks all the technology sector stocks, and I had 396 from that. And you have let's see, trying to see if there are any more, but I don't think there were actually too many more in September. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But so the next one, I just want to show you, this is not actually my dividend portfolio. This Robinhood account is what I use for, more of selling premium, trading options. So that's kind of what I've been experimenting with in the Robinhood app. And right here, you can kind of see like the different trades I've been making. So I've been selling a lot of puts with NEO, just because I've been having a lot of success with them. NEO, of course, has some great premium that you can get for selling their options. And then I've also recently been trying to incorporate some credit spreads and put credit spreads towards the account, which I've had some relative success in. So I've tried it with Tesla, I'm going to do it with Apple, and then kind of see how I'm building up my positions and use the cash balance to try to get some more income flowing into the account. Let's see, lastly, I do have a Fundrise account that I fund $100 in every month, and this one nets me about like $12, $13 a month. So I just thought I'd mention that. I opened this account just to be a little bit more involved in the real estate sector, because I'm just a big fan of real estate. But in general, I like to say that I'm building up my positions in all of my accounts and trying to create a stable amount of cash flow. And I'm pretty proud of the $130 or so that I've been netting from my dividends, and I hope to see the number continue to rise. And I just thought I'd create an update video and kind of track where I'm going and where I want to be. So my next goal is obviously going to be get to $200 a month. That would be a solid number, and then from there we'll just see what happens. But I just want to quickly make this video, so I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next update.